Are you feeling overwhelmed by this situation? How are you feeling? What are you doing? And what can we do to course correct in the streets of Chicago?
Well, first of all, I think we have to elicit all the people. This is a family problem. Each family has to look. If they cannot have any control whatsoever over their son or daughter, just ask, I need help. That's all we want to do. And some families have substance abuse. Some of them have alcohol and drug problems. Some of them are women who can't maybe take care of their children. If they can't, we just want to help, because if you don't save that child, and that child at the age of 12 or 14 or 15 or 16 is gone, in the sense that no one has any family ties over that individual, and then you're going to lose them, and you're going to lose them to the streets, gangs, guns, and drugs. This has been going on too long. We have marches. Father Mike, ministers, community people marching continually, and telling people,
but what do you do, Mayor,
wake up.
What do you do when the problem's with the family? You know, we can't even rely, in some cases, for the parents to do the right thing and take control.
One of the things that here, if a child is a foster child, under state law, you can't give the information to the teachers. There is certain information you cannot give by federal law from youth officers, police, in regards to that child, because you can identify the child if the child is an offender, is a victim of a crime at earlier ages, at 5, 6, 7, they become victims. Then all of a sudden they become offenders because they have lost their love in their family. And everybody has to just take responsibility, look in the mirror and say, we can do it. When you look at this situation, the most frightening aspect is that an adult was taking a film of this child being beaten and never called 911. Never did anything.
That was an adult taking those videos?
Yes.
But not only that, there were a lot of kids standing around watching, and nobody seemed to be doing anything to help Darian Albert.
That is the shock. I think that is a shock that we see people, maybe they're insensitized, maybe they don't realize what is taking place. But it would be like someone watching a rape in a tavern and filming it and say, oh, I'm going to go and sell this to the media, which they did sell to the media. And so I'm just saying, that's the thing that worries me now, that now we're going to have everybody filming everything to make a dollar and not do anything about it. I mean, and to me, that is the most frightening aspect after the death of this young boy who survived all the challenges of the community and his family.
That's
and he was
so
a good young boy. That's the heartbreaking issue.
That's what's heartbreaking to me.
And most of the victims, and we have a group of family members, Purpose Over Pain, who lost their loved ones, who go out to the community and talk to the community. That was my son. That was my daughter. He or she was on a bus. They're coming to and from a school. It was on a Saturday. They were at a party. They're in front of the church.
These are kids. I was frustrated listening to the kids around Darian Albert. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, when really he was in the very right place. He was not doing anything wrong. He was going to the community center. We are talking to Mayor Richard Daley from the city of Chicago. We got an anonymous letter this morning, Mayor, from a teacher in your school system who heard we were doing this show today and knew that you were going to be on, and this was a letter she wrote and didn't sign the name. She begins, as I sit down to write this letter, I was dumbstruck and confused about what to write. I didn't know where to begin, so I'll just write from my heart. Sure. The senseless violence that I've witnessed at Chicago public schools as a teacher is astounding, and I wonder if I've become desensitized. Fights occur almost daily. Students pull the fire alarms, forcing the entire school to evacuate. Sometimes pranks, they start as pranks and turn into fights. When I began teaching at CPS, Chicago Public Schools, I quickly learned the heartbreaking circumstances of my students' lives. Many are angry, confused, and hurt, and they do not know how to deal with the painful feelings. But I believe that Fenger High School, where Darian went to school, has taken the brunt of the criticism and has become the unofficial symbol and representation of school violence. Fenger is just a microcosm of what occurs every day in some CPS schools and in schools nationwide. Reform after reform has yet to provide many of our children with some education foundation that is badly needed. Our children desperately need our help, and it is our charge to help save this generation. What do you say? I saw Anderson Cooper's special that he did on Chicago 2 days ago that I thought was very powerful, live from the streets of Chicago. And they had residents there that had raised two questions. First, what is Mayor Daley doing? One. Number two, if this was happening in white communities, this problem would have been corrected. People would be marching in the streets. There's no way that this would happen in white suburbs of Chicago. What do you say to that?
I disagree with that. First of all, we've had marches every day in regards to any killing in any community. If you talk to the families who lost loved ones, purpose over pain, they're black, they're white, they're Hispanic. We don't say they're black or white. They're everyone. That child that wasn't a black child, that child was a child. You start breaking down black and white. But I want to get back to Fenger. The principal's done a tremendous job in 2 or 3 years. They don't have any riots in the schools. There's no violence. If you look at all the killings, unfortunately, are away from the school. They have not been in the school. These schools are not out of touch in the sense that violence is taking place every day. Majority of schools, there's a number of schools that do have problems. And the problems really stem from the children that have no family life.
But do you think, Mayor, it's out of control in Chicago?
No,
the school
it's not. No.
You don't believe it's out of control?
No, one child killed is one too many, Gail.
Yes.
One. Not two, not four. This is not a counting system. One is one too many. And that's what I've always said in regard to this, trying to get the moral conscience of the community that a child has a right to live.
Yes.
Don't look the other way. Don't talk about it after the funeral. Talk about it before. March now. Start organizing a block club. Find out where the children are who have no family life, who are out in the street. It is the responsibility of everyone. I'll take the responsibility, which I do, because I firmly believe the public school system is getting better every day in our school system. Remember, the kids only go to school for 6 hours a day.
Yes.
6 hours, and that's by union contract.
Our numbers.
And I've always said after-school programs and Saturday programs, and yes, bring more of the ministers and everybody back into the school and make it a community school.